One couple.
I think that if we would have been healthy, we would have been married a long time ago.
One wedding.
I cannot picture ourselves walking down the aisle in these bodies.
I don't want to be a fat bride.
And two amazing transformations.
I'm the luckiest man on the planet right now, I'll tell you that.
I'm Chris Powell.
And I'm Heidi Powell.
And this is what we do. Whoa. We do weddings?
We do now.
But we still get to work out, right? Come on, buddy. Now is the time to lean on each other.
Come on, babe, I'm good.
Let's go.
In the 4 years since Heidi and I got married, we've helped people lose more than 10,000 pounds. Tonight,
Oh my gosh.
with the help of some good friends,
Put a ring on it.
You guys want to taste some cakes?
Yeah.
you'll watch us as we help an unmarried couple get fit for their marriage, both physically
We want so badly to see you make it through this so you can make it through anything.
and emotionally. We can get you in shape for your wedding, but it won't mean a damn thing if your marriage falls apart.
What you're about to see,
Will be the most important moment in two people's lives.
because this time,
Love can't wait.
you get to say it.
Why do I get to say it?
Because I said first.
Ah, dang you. Okay. But are you going to say your name or am I saying your name?
Of course I'm saying it.
Okay. All right. My name is Bryce,
I'm Amber.
and we are 200 pounds overweight. Our status is we are seriously dating / boyfriend, girlfriend. I did not give you my Letterman's jacket yet, so it's not super official, but it's marginally official.
You're ridiculous. Bryce and I met online, and our first date, we met at a coffee shop, and it just seemed easy, and we had fun, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Amber has made me, I think, see the brighter side of life. She is such a caring, warm, and loving person that she makes me a better person just being around her. I would say I think I'm ready to ask Amber to marry me. I just think we both need to work on our health.
I want to make sure that when there's a problem, I'm not just eating my feelings, and that's my biggest thing. It's a really an emotional struggle for me, and I think that that's unfair to Bryce to carry that into a marriage. This is my dad. My dad had a problem with drinking. He still does. And my mom just felt that that was not the right environment to raise a child in. My mom left my dad when I was 9 months old. He just kept moving further and further away when I was a kid. And I just always felt like everything else was more important than me. Because it was. Cars and boats and alcohol and, you know. My dad remarried when I was 5. And that's really where a lot of the sneaking the food came in. One year, we were selling this chocolate bars, and I ate an entire case in one day and hid the wrappers in my closet. And it just became this, like, compulsion. Like, I didn't really realize what I was doing. It just, all of a sudden, it would be gone. Bryce has never seen me with my clothes off or really even in a bathing suit. Once we're married, I don't want to feel inhibited where I have to be ashamed of who I am in my body. I don't want to be a fat bride.
Me and Amber, we don't live together. Just recently moved in here after the divorce happened. I met my ex-wife through a friend at church. We were all excited to build a life and build a family together, and so we had our son. This picture was our Christmas card, the photo that we sent out in 2010, 8 months before we got separated. For a living, I fix engines for dirt modified race cars. I didn't know anything was wrong with my marriage. I was always trying to build my business. You know, one day I'm out working on my cars. She says that she was done with the relationship. It was the most devastating point in my life. As a kid, I was always overweight. Kind of just became my persona. Then after the divorce, I gained another 65 pounds. This is my son, Talon. He's 4.5 years old now, and my little buddy. He loves the racing so much, and he's always working on the cars. Go get them, get the good ones. When my parents got divorced, it was hard on my brothers and me. I wanted to be the best dad I could be, and so I didn't want to have the same thing happen. So, in the end it did, but I'm glad my buddy.
Good one?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Chili birdie dog, please.
Chili birdie dog.
Yep, and an order of the cheesy fries.
I thought that I would never date again, but meeting Amber, she's definitely an answer to prayers.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Yummy. Because of Talon and because of what I went through with my ex, I want to make sure that everything can be the best it can before you go down and walk down the aisle and say, I do. I'm just going to mow it down. It's sent down from heaven, you know. Our addiction to food, we've ignored our whole life. And we've both made the decision that we want to quit making excuses for ourselves and just do it. We want to be the best people we can be before we join together in marriage.
Are you ready to propose to Amber?
Look at me like I have something to do with
I don't
you
know.
deciding. As long as it's
As long as the dirt track,
the dirt
we're
track,
okay.
we're good. Thank you.
This is a sprint car. It's a pretty small cockpit, and it's something that I've always wanted to drive. Being 300 pounds, you don't really fit in the frame or the seat. It's like having a 300-pound jockey at the Kentucky Derby. It just doesn't work out very good.
We're at Paris Speedway right now, and Bryce is working on the sprint cars behind us. He has no idea that we're here, but we're going to give him a little life tune-up. You ready?
I say we go get him.
All right, let's go. Hey, can you hand me that wrench? Hey! Bryce!
What are you guys doing here?
We're here for you.
When Chris and Heidi showed up, I probably had this like glazed look on my face, like, what the heck just happened?
This means we're choosing you.
Are you ready is the question.
I am. I know I'm ready.
Well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
And you're only half the reason we're here today.
Yes.
So where's Amber?
I think she's going to be in the stands later with my mom, watching the race, having a good time, so...
As we were reading through your letter, we can't quite figure out, are you guys engaged or you're not engaged
No,
yet?
we're not engaged yet. I have the ring. I'm ready to pop the question.
So Amber's going to be in the stands?
Yes.
All right. Then you know what? I've got an idea.
Okay.
And welcome all the race fans here at Flag Day here at Paris Speedway. Bryce, what's kind of a special night for you, Bryce? Tell the fans what's going on.
Well, I'm super nervous, first off. I got my special lady up in the stand over there, and I have a really important question I want to ask her, so I'm hoping she can come on down here and meet us on the front stretch so I can ask her this very important question.
When I saw Bryce come out on the track today, I didn't really think much of it until he said something about his special lady coming down, and my stomach dropped out.
Here she is.
Hi.
Hi.
I would love for him to propose, but I'd never want him to do it at the racetrack. It was actually kind of a moment of dread.
I got you down here because you know we've been dating for a long time, and I've grown to love you so much that I don't know how I could spend the rest of my life without you. So I would like to know if you, Amber Brown, the lady of my dreams, would transform yourself with me, Chris, and Heidi.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Amber told me lots of times that she doesn't want to be proposed at a dirt track. She had this look like, I'm going to kill you right now.
When I heard Chris and Heidi honking and Bryce was pointing at them, it just was the biggest moment of relief and excitement. Not that I don't want him to propose, I do, but just not at the racetrack.
After tonight, we're going to be flying the two of you off to boot camp in Colorado. We're going to spend 3 months in Colorado. But first, we need to know what we're working with.
Right.
So that means that we're going to have a weigh-in here tonight in front of all the fans.
Yes.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Go get changed, and we're going to be right back here at intermission for your very first weigh-in. All right, Bryce. Go ahead and take your first step onto the scale.
Good job, man. 306 pounds.
I never would have thought I was over 300 pounds. I'm ready to change it and not have it be that way again. So.
Good.
There we go, Bryce. It's 306 pounds. 306 pounds, Bryce. Amber? So cheering you on. It takes a lot of courage.
$249 pounds.
Okay.
That's the last time I'm seeing that number.
It is.
I never knew how much Amber weighed. I never asked her. It didn't reflect anything about the way I feel about her. It was just a number. A year from now, the number's going to be different, but she's still going to be the same wonderful person she is right now.
You've got your starting numbers, and I promise you, we promise you, a lot is going to change. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Bryce and Amber. coming up.
We're climbing to over 14,000 feet today.
I wanted to get to the top to propose to Amber.
You sound winded.
I feel winded. I was getting kind of dizzy and I didn't really want to tell anyone.
And later.
I don't get it. She's not losing any weight.
Look, something's not adding up here.
The truth is, she is sneaky.
We're doing a recheck. Okay.
All leading up to a walk down the aisle, you'll have to see to believe. Welcome to the University of Colorado Anschutz Health and Wellness Center.
That's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
For the next 3 months, Bryce and Amber are going to be at boot camp with me and Heidi. Of course, it's not going to be easy. We want to see if they can hit their goal weight in just 6 months. So let's talk about your goals. We want to see the two of you, in the next 90 days, lose cumulatively 150 pounds.
Whoa.
I believe in you. Do you believe in me?
Right now, I believe in you. I don't know if I can lose 100 pounds, though. That's crazy.
So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is about you guys becoming stronger independently of each other. Because we know that when two independent people are strong, you make a much better couple.
And that's why for phase 2, one of you will be going home, and the other will be coming back to Arizona with us. For 3 months.
The next time you guys are going to see each other is at the 6-month mark, as Amber's walking down the aisle.
What do you think about that one?
Already. Sorry.
Can you not imagine life without Bryce?
But at the same time, it's important for you to focus on yourself. And you're going to have 3 months to do that.
When Chris and Heidi told us that we had to split up, I immediately started crying because the idea of not seeing Bryce for 3 months is scary. But I think that period of time of not seeing each other will be good for us, though.
All right, guys.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Today we've got something pretty special planned out for Bryce and Amber.
Hey, what's up?
Bryce and Amber?
It's me.
Rocco Despirito.
To meet Rocco is pretty cool.
Sexier in person, Rocco.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I didn't realize how sexy that guy was going to be.
Bryce Amber, right? Correct. Cool. How are you? Are you
Awesome.
Where's the ring?
No,
not yet.
I don't
What's
know.
going on, buddy?
I'm working it out.
Put a ring on it. I hear you guys are dating. You like to cook together.
Amber's a really good cook, and I like to watch her cook.
Tell me you wash the dishes at least.
Oh, yes. I'm an expert.
Oh, yeah, he's very good at washing the dishes.
Definitely marry him. Chris and Heidi introduced me to Amber and Bryce from California. The trick to keeping the weight off after you leave these lovely people is cooking your own food, taking control of what you put in your mouth. So here is a recipe in my book. Cook your butt off. All right. It's a chili rub chicken.
Okay.
And Amber, you're going to assist.
Okay.
And I think you should nitpick like crazy. Just to show what it's like.
normal.
Yeah. What I decided to do was give them a recipe and see how well they could follow the instructions laid out for them very clearly. Okay. Good luck. Good luck. Get out of your hair. Too many cooks in the kitchen, never a good thing.
I normally just go out and get fast food or something that's easy, so I'm not used to like cooking. Are you supposed to rub it before or after is my question.
Do you want me to read the instructions?
It doesn't say. Man, I'm nervous. I feel like I'm shaking it up. I felt like I was on one of those kitchen shows, man. It was crazy. I hope they like it spicy.
Well, shouldn't there be a measurement?
I do it by feel.
All right.
I have a feeling this is going to turn into Amber
this is
cooking
the Amber
meal.
show.
Yep.
I'm not gonna. Here, you find it. It was hard to not take over, because I wanted to do it. I'm so disappointed. But I wanted to support Bryce because I thought that he kind of needed that boost.
I've never cooked with a recipe before.
Oh, okay.
Normally I just go and make something up, so that's what was like hard to for me.
He's cooking with recipes and measurements, and that's what matters in the end, right? Because if you don't measure, you don't get precise calories. Let's taste it. It's actually deliciously cooked.
Right.
Amber and Bryce did a pretty good job. Bryce did some independent thinking, let's call it, but they mostly made good choices. I think if this cooking challenge were to be used as a metaphor for their relationship, I think they have a great future ahead of them. Isn't that great?
We did it! Yay, team! All right!
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's happening?
What's on your mind?
We got some stuff we got to talk about, man.
So Bryce called me up and said he wants to sit down and talk about how he wants to propose to Amber. My original idea was, of course, for Bryce to propose to Amber right there at the raceway, but Amber was not having that at all.
I didn't know what type of ring to get Amber because she doesn't like super fancy rings or anything like that. But the cool thing is when I was talking to her mom, she had the wedding ring from when she got married to her dad, and she'd been saving it for when Amber got married.
Wow.
So I've been holding on to this ring for a long time. It's burning a hole in my pocket. I'm really excited to propose to her. The thing is, I want shock and awe on it. I want it to be like just something out of the blue. Like, say we climb up and do a big climb or something like that. We get to the top and she's like, ready to die. And I'm like, hey, I got one thing I want to ask you. Something like that.
I mean, we're in one of the most beautiful places in the world right now.
Correct.
There's like a bunch of 14,000-foot peaks behind us.
Let's do it. Let's do something like that. Get crazy.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Bryce, Amber, welcome to Colorado, Rocky Mountain State.
Who's ready to hike Pikes Peak?
Here we go, guys.
We're climbing to over 14,000 feet today.
Just letting you know, this is the easy part. We're not 200 yards into this workout, and all of us are huffing and puffing.
Remember, the higher up we go, the harder it's going to be to breathe.
I'm not used to this altitude, and for Bryce and Amber, this is one of their very first workouts.
You sound winded.
I feel winded. We started out on the trail, and it just started to go up a little bit, and it was very overwhelming.
Okay, we're about 2 miles in. 5 to go, guys.
I don't think I realized how high and how far and how long we would be moving. Do you need to go ahead of me?
I'm fine.
Come on, guys.
Amber had a tough time with it. The altitude was a little bit hard for her, so she was just like having trouble catching her breath.
Use your lungs. Big, deep breaths. Keep walking.
And I was a little worried about it. I knew I wanted to get to the top to propose to Amber, and that was like in the back of my mind that we have to make it to the top.
You're not tired yet, are you?
my body is that my lungs are.
You all right, Amber?
I'm okay. I just trying to get my breathing under control. I was getting kind of dizzy, and I didn't really want to tell anyone. I didn't want someone to come and say, okay, well, you need to quit. I'm gonna throw up. That's it.
Amber, you got a medic right here for you.
Because I can hear you about 30 times a minute right now, so let's see if we can get you to slow down.
I was just having a hard time regulating my breathing.
Okay. How's your head, though?
My head is fine now. I was just a little dizzy. I'm trying to push through it and not be a wimp. I don't want to have an excuse.
Okay, so is everything you feel like it was more balanced now?
Yeah.
If you get really short of breath,
Okay.
I can't catch up. Then
Okay.
let's sit down, let's take a second.
Okay.
Let's see if you can catch your breath and the dizziness subsides. If it doesn't, then we'll go ahead and give you some more oxygen.
Okay. It was really frustrating because I felt very held back by my body at that moment.
Nice and easy, okay?
Breathe. Inside my head, I was screaming and crying and quitting a million times over, but I knew that I would disappoint myself and Bryce.
Nobody said this year was going to be easy.
You just have to keep going.
Wow, guys. Look at this.
It's like the top of the world. Guys, you started all the way down there.
That's amazing. Since we made it here to the top, I have an important question I want to ask you.
Oh my God.
Amber, I never thought that I could meet somebody like you. I have found my best friend. I found someone that I can spend the rest of my life with, and I just want to share every moment with. I love you with all my heart, and I want you to be my wife. So, here it is. Wait, you have to say yes or no first.
You didn't ask me.
So, will you marry me?
Yes. That was an awkward kiss. To think that he had something like that planned meant so much, that he put so much thought into that moment.
I love you.
I've never been more happy in my entire life. I just can't believe that we're gonna get married.
We wanted to do something that you wouldn't expect. You know how much I love hiking.
I definitely didn't expect you to love hiking.
Well, now it's my favorite thing. I love you too. Being right there at the top of Pikes Peak was the perfect spot, I think. Getting to the top of the mountain was an adventure in itself, but I'm just excited for the rest of our life because I know it's going to be an awesome adventure.
Coming up.
Talking about one person leaving and going and living in Arizona for 3 months. And
Right.
I mean, for us, I just don't think that would work.
When we choose somebody for this kind of process and the transformation, we don't make any exceptions. Hey guys, what's going on? We got your text.
What's up?
Today, Bryce and Amber called us, and they said they had some concerns that they want to talk to us about.
When we first showed up at boot camp, you were talking about one person leaving and going and living in Arizona for 3 months. And
Right.
I mean, for us, I just don't think that would work. I couldn't leave my son for an additional 3 months. It's already been a really big sacrifice. And I don't want to risk my custody agreement with my ex-wife.
And then for me, I want to kind of build into that relationship of I'm going to become your stepmom. Not seeing him for 3 months, I don't think it's fair to Talent. My dad met a woman when I was in middle school, and then 6 months later they were married. I wanted to say, are you crazy? What is going on? You don't know her. And I don't ever want to do that to any child, and that's why I've been so careful with Talon.
Amber, how long have you been in Talon's life?
Almost a year. Almost a year, but we don't spend time just one-on-one.
And by the end of this, you will have been away for 3 months, so I get that.
Transformation is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. We can understand, especially having 4 kids of our own, and keeping in mind that 2 of our kids come from Heidi's previous marriage. So we understand the need for Talon to get to know Amber because she's going to be a stepmom. When we choose somebody for this kind of process and the transformation, we don't make any exceptions. But this is a situation where I really do think we need to make exceptions because it's not just about the two of you.
Right.
You've got an awesome little kid involved, too.
Yeah.
But we need you both to become stronger independently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how can we accomplish that?
I'm willing, and he's willing to just not see each other when we go home.
How far apart do you guys live?
We're about 30 miles.
It's a 45-minute drive.
So it's feasible that you guys won't be running into each other at the grocery
No,
store,
not at all.
doctor's offices, whatever.
Yeah. Unless he tries to sneak in my bedroom window, that's the only problem.
Amber.
Both of us were very excited that Chris and Heidi were willing to compromise. We admire the way that their family has developed, and we want to model our own after theirs.
All right, guys.
Cool.
Don't let us interrupt.
Oh, yeah. Back to our favorite thing, the good old treadmill.
It took a lot of stress away from the experience.
All right, see you guys. Get to it. Get those arms up tight.
Good, come
Guys,
on.
bring those arms in
Get my
close.
knees
All
to the
right.
The first day, you're gung-ho and you're ready to just go out there and knock everything out of the park. And then you get about 3 days in, and you're like, what the heck am I doing?
I hate the gym, but I'm a pretty competitive person, and I want to make sure we can hit our goal.
To lose 150 pounds is a lot. It's a lot of weight.
All right, guys. So I know your wedding is going to be here so much quicker than we all think. Bryce and Amber have to get married at the 6-month mark, and they're already a month in. They've been working so hard losing weight, but anyone who's had a wedding before knows that planning, that's a whole job in and of itself. So to help them out, we've hired a very special guest. Bryce and Amber, I'm sure this man needs no introduction. Meet our good friend and celebrity wedding planner, David Tutera.
How are you?
When I saw that it was David Tutera, I wanted to jump up and down and scream, but I just didn't feel like that was like the appropriate thing to do.
This is the guy responsible for some of the world's most beautiful weddings ever. And guess what? He's going to plan your guys' wedding.
Yes.
So we're going to leave you guys be, all right? Have fun planning.
Let's
Can't
do
wait to
this.
see you. Come on.
Very welcome.
Thank you
You're
so
so
much.
welcome. Let's have a seat. Today I'm going to sit down with Bryce and Amber, take on all of their concepts, and turn their dream wedding into a reality.
But as far as style goes, I kind of like a vintage garden-inspired.
Vintage garden. So when you say vintage and then you say garden, I know what they both individually mean, but not quite sure what they mean together.
I don't know either.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna figure this out together.
Yeah.
It's a journey. Amber has very specific ideas about this wedding, although all over the place, which I'll figure out how to make happen. Normally I would ask you.
Okay.
Overall, what is it you want for your dream wedding? I'm gonna do something a little flip-flop here. Bryce, tell me what you think she wants for her wedding.
I think that Amber wants something that's very classy and fun at the same time, a celebration of our relationship together and the covenant that we're making with God to be a family. Something that we can look back on the rest of our life on and say that was one of the best days of our life, but it's not the end of our relationship, but the beginning.
Wow.
Was that good?
I'll marry you.
I never knew that Bryce had such a way with words, and he does surprise me often. It just really made me feel like he does listen and he does get me.
I'm taking over the wedding.
Good.
I'm going to make sure everything we talked about and beyond happens. So I don't want you to worry about things. Just concentrate on what Chris and Heidi have you doing so you can have a spectacular wedding.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be fun.
It'll be awesome.
It was great to meet you.
So it's
guys.
nice to meet you as well.
Really great.
You guys, I swear. I don't know, Amber. You're about to marry this guy.
Heidi and I are having a blast with Bryce and Amber. I mean, they're such an awesome, fun-loving couple. Bryce is solid. I mean, that guy, he's like a man on a mission. Meanwhile, Amber's really wonderful at getting him going, but then she has a hard time getting going herself.
Come on, we got a goal to hit. You got a wedding you got to be ready for, Amber.
Heidi and I gave them the goal to lose 150 pounds in the first 90 days. Bryce is doing it, and he's losing the weight. Unfortunately, Amber isn't. And we just don't know why.
I don't get it. She's not losing any weight.
We just weighed Bryce and Amber in today. Amber lost nothing.
You can't eat 1,500 calories a day, work out for 2 to 3 hours a day,
Right.
and not lose weight.
Heidi and I, we just spent forever trying to figure it out, but we're worried. Why don't we do this? Let's test a resting metabolic rate.
That's bullcrap.
But if anything,
No.
at least if we have it, we have quantitative
Okay.
proof of exactly how many calories she's burning.
I hear what you're saying, but the truth is she is sneak eating. I've been there. I used to do the same thing, and I would sneak eat. I can see it from a mile away. I know this is what she's doing. We're not helping her if we don't hold her accountable. This is what she signed up for.
I agree. We'll test her metabolism, and if things don't add up, you can room check all you want.
Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Amber claims that she's not eating outside the plan. So today we're going to test her resting metabolic rate. It will show you exactly how many calories your body is burning at rest. When we have these numbers, you know if she's telling you the truth or not. So let's talk some numbers, huh?
All right, Amber, your resting metabolic rate is totally appropriate.
Good. Okay.
It's not lower than we would
Very
expect.
good.
It's close to 1,700.
Okay. So if you're doing everything right, you should be losing 3.5 to 4 pounds a week, Amber. Now, there's been a few weeks where you've had a 0 or a 1.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going wrong there?
I don't know why. You know, I so badly want to be able to say that I've been overeating and sneaking out, but I can't because that's not the truth.
For what she says she's eating and how hard she's working out, the weight should be falling off of her, and it's just not. Now we know her resting metabolic rate is just fine. So something's not adding up because we see her working hard in the gym, but we can't see what she's actually putting in her mouth.
Well, hello, you two lovebirds. What are you guys doing? Having a date on the porch? Having a date on the porch? It's really romantic.
Chris and I are really worried about Amber. I mean, she has a history of sneak eating, and I'm worried that that's actually something that she's doing now.
We're doing a room check. Okay. And eat, or are we not going in? No. No going in.
Okay, this is going to be Amber's stuff right here.
Bibles? Okay, so almost nothing. A chocolate ice cream bar. 260 calories? Gosh. Chocolate mints? Top of a chocolate bar wrapper right there. Beef and pork stick. I clearly see, without a doubt, why she's not having results. She's eating when nobody's looking, for sure. And we're going to stop it out there. Amber! Ice cream. Pork and beef stick, chocolate mint wrapper. But this is exactly what I thought. I knew something was going on. It was not possible for her to not lose weight and do everything perfectly. Amber! Okay. A couple things. This was at the very top of your purse. Okay. I literally just opened the top and this was like right there. Amber, I know this is something you've struggled with before. I think I'm just a messy person, and I'm being very honest right now. This is from 3 or 4 weeks ago, and ice cream. It's fresh. It doesn't feel like it's been in there for long at all. I could try to find the receipt, but I guarantee you it's been in there for like 3 weeks.
I've clearly caught Amber red-handed, but she just won't admit to cheating on her meal plan. She has excuse after excuse, and if she won't come clean, I just can't help her.
What kind of a trainer, what kind of a friend would I be if I came across something like that and I didn't say anything to you? When I see this, I'm going to ask you about it. Not because I think you're a bad person, but because I care. Honestly. I appreciate that you're saying something. I really do. I appreciate that.
When Heidi found the wrappers in my purse, it was hard because I immediately wanted to jump and defend myself, even though I did eat those things.
And here's the thing. That's a habit. That's a pattern that you fell into for so long. Yeah. Was just, you eat it and hide it.
As a kid, I've always kind of felt a need to hide things, just to make sure that things on the surface seemed like they were good. I don't understand why I wanted to continue that secretive eating behavior here, but I did. I'm kind of glad that it was found.
I'm not sending you home. I'm not kicking you off. I appreciate that. And if there ever is anything in the future, come to me as soon as it happens, so this never happens. Cool?
Being here, it's very intense. You really have to really put yourself under the microscope, and I don't know why it feels good to be secretive sometimes, but I'm not doing that anymore because it's not beneficial to me at all.
Come here. I love you, Amber. Do it.
Heidi came over last night, and something clicked, something switched inside of me.
Just touch and go. Come on, push.
I really had to have a serious attitude check and realize I'm here because I can't do this on my own, because I asked to be here, and that request was granted.
You might scrape a shin, but it's a battle wound. Come on, you can do this.
Boot camp has been an eye-opening experience from all sorts of angles. Man, my life's changed a lot. I can't believe the things I can do now with my body that I couldn't do just a few weeks ago.
I want to see you dry that up and get underneath that barbell. That's it. Good, Bryce. Good, dude.
As much as I struggle with missing talent and every day waking up trying to do the best that I can here because I don't want to leave anything on the table. I'm just excited to see where we're at when we stand on that scale at the end of boot camp because I think it's going to change everything.
So tonight's Bryce and Amber's 90-day weigh-in. For Bryce, I'm not worried. He's done great. But for Amber, we're worried. I mean, I hope there's been enough time for her to get back on track. She got some making up to do, and it's going to be close. Well, Bryce, what do you say?
I'm ready.
So Bryce, 90 days ago, when you stepped on the scale, you weighed in at 306 pounds. Heidi and I gave the two of you the joint goal to lose 150 pounds over the last 90 days. So tonight, when you step on the scale, we're going to see how much you contributed toward that goal.
Looking at the scale, all these things go through your mind. Did we do enough work? Did we, overcome all the obstacles and work out as hard as we could to meet our goals? To see that I lost 86 pounds in 90 days is absolutely amazing to me, because I was one of those people who thought it had to be some magic involved to lose weight. You eat right and you exercise. I can't believe that it works.
Holy cow.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm excited to see how much weight. Your turn.
When I was watching Bryce, I was really proud of him, but also I just knew that there was a lot of pressure on me to hold up my end of the bargain.
So Amber, when we met you 90 days ago, you stepped on the scale and weighed 249 pounds. So the scale needs to say 185 pounds or less for you guys to hit your goal. So Amber, when we met you 90 days ago, you stepped on the scale and weighed 249 pounds. So the scale needs to say 185 pounds or less for you guys to hit your goal.
When Amber stepped on the scale, I was excited and nervous and worried. I had all these crazy emotions going through my mind. I know she was really stressed out over making sure that she did her part and lost enough weight as well.
When I saw that we met our goal, I really felt like Bryce and I proved that together we can do anything.
You did awesome. I love you.
I love you. For me, it was actually even better than being proposed to, because it was something that we worked so hard for.
Amber, you are a different person than the Amber that we met 90 days ago. I mean, I know there was that night, the room check.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you have done a 180.
Hold on a second. Okay. So, you guys are always surprising us, and we really wanted to kind of turn the tables on you a little bit. So, Heidi, this is for you. Open it.
Heidi, I can't tie the knot without you by my side. Will you be my bridesmaid?
Yes. When Heidi found the wrapper in my purse, it was a really low moment, but I found a friend in her and mentor, and I know that she cares about me and she wants me to be the best Amber that I can be.
I would also like you to be a part of the wedding too, Chris, and be a groomsman. I couldn't imagine my wedding without him in it.
I'm honored, bro. I'm honored.
I want to be able to share that moment with the people who've helped me change my life and people who are going to hold me accountable for the future. And Chris is that person.
All right, guys.
Let's get out of here.
Great job. Great job. So before they separate for phase 2, Bryce and Amber are going home to an engagement party.
Thank you.
What's happening, people? So today when they came out, Bryce is all cleaned up, and Amber, she looks beautiful. Look at you.
Yeah?
Oh, wow.
I like Bryce with no beard.
Me too.
So let's talk about the next 3 months. Bryce, according to Dr. Holly, looking at your scans, you got a lot of muscle on your body. So your phase 2 goal is to be at 210 pounds for your wedding.
You can do that.
Okay. Just continue the sexiness.
So Amber, your phase 2 goal is to be at 155 pounds on your wedding day.
Okay.
We feel like that is the perfect weight for you to walk down the aisle and maintain for the rest of your life.
I can do it.
But not everything is going to be like it has been here. Phase 2, you guys aren't going to be with each other. And you guys do so well as a team. But the question is, how are you guys going to do individually?
Yeah, how am I going to keep you away from me? That's going to be the hard part.
Really?
You guys have got a crazy 3 months ahead of you.
Yeah, we do. I got to work on my dance moves.
Yes, you do.
Practice my wedding moves, all that stuff.
Oh, my
the swirl?
Oh, yeah.
That's how I got her, was the swirl.
Oh, nice.
No one.
All right, you two.
All right.
Get out of here. We got some work to do.
Saying goodbye to Chris and Heidi is really tough today because we formed this friendship with them.
Congratulations on everything, my friend. You look amazing.
I know that we're going to stay in contact because when I go home, I'm not going to have them there daily for that accountability and for that tough love. It's really scary. When we told our moms that we had gotten engaged, they were over the moon excited. So we're actually coming home to an engagement party. Here we go.
Yep.
I am really anxious to see my dad today because we've only seen each other a few times this year. There's so many feelings and thoughts going on in my head, it's hard to describe.
Okay, so everybody, let's all put our hands together for the new Bryce and Amber.
When we walked through those doors and we saw everybody, it was such an exciting moment.
Hey, man.
They believe in us, and they're excited for the change that we're making.
Well, we're glad to see everybody. Thank you for coming out here. I'm so excited to say that we've combined lost 152 pounds in 90 days. We have a few more pounds to go, but just to be able to gone through this experience with Amber's probably been the best thing I think I've ever done. I feel like we can accomplish anything together, and that's what's exciting. And so, thank you for coming. We're super happy that you're here.
To see all of our friends and family just cheering us on, it was just amazing.
How are you?
To see the smiles on their faces and the high fives and just I felt an overwhelming amount of support.
Love you. Love you. I haven't really got a chance to say hey to my dad. Seeing my dad at my engagement party just really made me realize that our relationship has been very surface level for a very long time.
Hi. I didn't even really get a chance to hug you and love on you. Thank you, Dad.
And as soon as possible, it's time to be honest with him and tell him how I feel. I'm going to see you soon.
Okay, sweetheart.
Love you. From the beginning of boot camp, we knew that at the end of the 90 days, we would be saying goodbye to one another until the wedding day. But it didn't really set in. It was good seeing everybody.
Yep.
Bryce is my best friend, and it's going to be really hard to not see him on a daily basis.
You look like you want to say something.
Try to not cry. I don't like the idea of not seeing you for 3 months, and up until this point, it didn't seem like it was going to be real.
But we get to get married. That's the exciting part.
Yeah. No.
I love you. Saying goodbye to Amber was really, really difficult for me. You ready?
Yeah.
I didn't want to, break down because I know it was really, really hard on her, too. Just think, in 3 months, you're going to be in your wedding dress, and I'm going to be trying to take it off.
I love you.
I love you, too. You're going to be awesome. Bye-bye. I know this next phase is going to be difficult on both of us, but at the same time, as sad as I was excited that both of us are going to be even stronger when we come back together because we're going to be successful on our own.
Coming up, Ace of Cakes, Duff Goldman joins the wedding team.
All right, so Amber,
Yes.
I am going to design and make your wedding cake.
That was the best day ever.
And later,
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Dad, is just why I am the person that I am. A lot of times you chose alcohol over me.
in the first hour of Love Can't Wait.
Our status is we are seriously dating / boyfriend, girlfriend.
We chose Bryce and Amber for the transformation of their lives. And they chose to spend that life together.
I love you with all my heart, and I want you to be my wife.
Working as a team, they lost a combined 152 pounds in the first 90 days. And committed to spending phase 2, growing as individuals.
I don't like the idea of not seeing you for 3 months.
But we get to get married. That's the exciting part.
In the next hour, Amber and Bryce work hard and play hard.
Everyone was going down.
But will committing to weight loss be easier than committing to each other?
I hate this feeling. I needed to make sure that we're good because, if we're not, then there's not going to be a wedding. Seeing my dad at the engagement party has really given me a lot to think about. I don't want to let him down, and I don't want to hurt him. But I know that there's a few things that I need to say to him so that I can move forward in my healing. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Dad, is just secret eating is something that I've struggled with since I was a kid. I thought it made me feel better, and just really reflecting on why I eat, I realized that, and it linked back to our relationship.
Really?
I felt like I was the second choice.
Second choice.
A lot of times you chose alcohol over me. And after seeing you, I would just eat. That was my way of coping. I'm sorry for not saying what I thought.
No, I'm sorry that I'm putting you through this. I never realized. I never, ever realized. You have been the most important thing in my life. Ever. Ever. And I don't want to lose that. I love you too, sweetheart.
I appreciate you being open to this conversation.
Not a problem. It's the way it should be. We should be able to talk about anything.
I could see that the words that I had to say really affected my dad, and that meant so much to me.
Hopefully that's a big sigh of relief there.
It is.
Good.
Yeah. It was good to be heard, and I just hope that this conversation spawns change.
I love you.
Moving forward, our relationship is only going to become better.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Chris and Heidi gave me a goal to lose another 10 pounds for my next phase, and I think it's very doable.
I'm not concerned about my weight. I know that sounds bad, but when I have so much other stuff I need to do and take care of, I don't need to have whatever number on the scale says drag me down.
I made the decision that I was going to close my business down, so I had to rush around and find a place to store everything. And so just being able to go do 2 hours of exercise in the morning is a lot more difficult than I anticipated.
So I'm here in Orange County right now, checking in on Bryce. It's 5:25 in the morning, and I'm heading over to the gym. You know, Heidi and I let them both go home, and they promised us that they would not see each other for the next 3 months. So what I'm looking for today is that they're actually keeping their word to us. They asked us for accountability, and so that's exactly what we're going to bring to them. It's like Bryce is at his workout. I mean, it's awesome to see Bryce actually doing what he says he's doing. He's getting a good workout in right now. See him right through the windows, going through a dynamic warm-up with the trainer. Is that Amber? Oh, no, it's not. It's not. It did kind of look like her from behind, though, for a second. It's 7:13 right now. Bryce just finished up. He's walking outside. I guess we'll just follow him. All right. So it looks like Bryce is pulling up to work right now. That's his shop. And I say let's just hang out here for a few hours and just see what happens. That's weird. The shop's open, but it doesn't look like he's working on anything. It actually looks like he's loading things up into his car. I wonder what's going on. Well, we've been following Bryce all day, and all he's done is go to his workout and then to work. But something's up at his garage, so I think I'm gonna pop in and say hi to him. Bryce! Surprise? Surprise. What's going on, dude?
Today I was just trying to finish up a couple jobs, and Chris came rolling up on me, and I hadn't seen him since boot camp, and I don't know why he was there, but it was good to see him.
I just wanted to come and check on you and just make sure everything's going all right, that you do what you say you're doing when you say you're doing it.
It's just been a little bit of a struggle, you know, just trying to find that groove back in normal life.
So what's your biggest struggle then? I mean, like, is it the exercise or is it the nutrition?
My biggest struggle is all the other junk in my life. You know, I had made the decision that I was going to close my business down because I didn't really care about it anymore.
I had no idea.
I was just working to work and have something to do, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and it's not this.
Yeah.
So it's time to move on.
You've got the right mentality. With everything that Bryce has going on in his life, it's amazing to see how well he's doing. He really seems to embrace this process of transformation, which is good. That's what we want. What's happening here in the shop, it's so symbolic of everything that you're going through.
Right.
That's what phase 2 is about for you. And what better time now for you to be independent, to get all this stuff out before you join with Amber. Because then when you guys come together, clean slate.
Yeah.
All right.
It was good to see him and chat and talk about a few things and kind of tell him, you know, what was going on. It was really fun and encouraging, and that was the best surprise that could have happened at that moment.
Coming up.
Are you Amber?
I love Duff Goldman. I was just watching you on TV.
And later.
Amber has a history of sneak eating and covering up when she sees something wrong. I mean, it makes me wonder what's been going on at home. I do know you've seen Bryce.
I needed to make sure that we're good because, you know, if we're not, then there's not going to be a wedding.
You ready? Come on, let's go. I've been home for a while now, and it's hard. I'm not going to lie. It is freaking rough. Did I want to get up this morning at 3:30? No. Did I think about being like a big faker and acting like I faked my own death and, you know, couldn't make it? Of course, because it was 3:30 in the morning, but I did it. I made it. I worked out, and it wasn't that bad.
So I've been talking with David Tutera often about Bryce and Amber's wedding. He let me know today who he has lined up to design her wedding cake. Amber is going to flip. when she finds out.
Are you Amber?
I'm a little
thumbs up.
right. Yes, I know. Hi, nice to meet you.
You're the same color as your hair now. Amber's excited.
I was just watching you on TV. I love Duff Goldman, and it was just so cool to actually meet him in person. And I was trying really hard to like rein myself in and not be a complete weirdo. Oh my gosh.
All right, so Amber,
Yes.
I am going to design and make your wedding cake.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Bryce is gonna be so excited.
Well, come on over.
Okay.
Let's eat some cake.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
This is the red velvet with cream
Okay.
cheese frosting. This is a lemon chiffon with a berry
Nice.
buttercream.
Okay.
And then that one is a hazelnut chocolate.
This is exciting.
Well, go for it.
I will start with this one. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Wow. I'm gonna put my cake blinders up right now. I would love to eat the whole slice, but it is, I have goals to hit, and it's
This is cake you can eat.
Really?
Yeah. There's no butter in there.
Really?
It's all avocado. Flour, butter, sugar, and eggs. Now, that's basically what baking is. So it's really difficult to eat cake and still be healthy and feel healthy.
And this is the red velvet.
That's the red velvet.
Okay.
And the way we make that is we use the rice flour and garbanzo bean flour. It's not
Nice.
wheat
Okay.
flour.
Cool.
You really have to start taking some of those ingredients and swapping them out for other things that are a little bit better for you.
Take that tiny bite.
That is a sugarless lemon chiffon cake.
Mmm.
The frosting is made with tofu.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, cool. What do you think?
I am down with the chocolate, just because I really enjoyed that. I think our guests will, and I know Bryce will love that.
You got it.
It was the best day ever. I really hope that Bryce is happy because he loves chocolate cake. And so to be able to have chocolate cake that is kind of, with our new healthy lifestyle, it's going to be awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Wonderful to meet you.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later.
So last night, Bryce and I were just kind of talking on the phone about what our future looks like. Is it the best idea for us to get married in January if you don't have a job and we don't know where finances are going to come from? He thought that I meant I didn't want to marry him. I need to look at him and tell him, I am sorry. I hate this feeling. This process is hard. When you are working on fixing yourself and when the person that you love is working on fixing themselves, you're really vulnerable, and I need to make sure that we're good. Because, if we're not, then there's not going to be a wedding.
We made a deal with Bryce and Amber going into phase 2 that they could both go home to California, but that they couldn't see each other. So we've been checking in on them every now and then to make sure this is actually the case.
Bryce or Amber? How was Bryce? Amber just walked in and Bryce is in there. They are definitely seeing each other.
What?
No.
Wow, what the heck? Today, I'm meeting Amber and all of her bridesmaids for her bachelorette party. And while I really do want to confront Amber about the footage that I saw of her and Bryce being together, I also don't want to take away the fun of the moment. So I think I'm going to have the bachelorette party, and then I'll talk to Amber about it afterwards. So I bet you're wondering why I'm standing here in the middle of an obstacle course, wearing an old bridesmaid's dress. This isn't a typical bachelorette party. We're paintballing today. Most bachelorette parties revolve around food, drinking, sitting around, doing a bunch of nothing that's good for you. But not today. The goal of the game is for one team to capture the other team's flag and bring it back to their home base in bridesmaids' dresses. And Amber, you're wearing an old wedding dress. Ready for this? Oh, yeah. Well, it's time to play. You guys are the red team. Amber, you're on my team. We are the yellow team. All right. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath.
All right, yellow team, you're on that side. Red team, you're on that side. All right, the game is going to be live in 3, 2, 1.
Safety's off. Woo! Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot. It was awesome today. Super fun. We all worked with a really good sweat. Okay.
Oh, my gosh. You got it. Woo! Take it back.
You know, 6 months ago, there's no way that I would have been able to keep up with the other team, let alone, you know, help our team win. It was just a really cool way to kind of sneak a workout into a fun experience with friends.
Yellow team has captured the flag. Game is over. Sumo!
Yellow team won. Of course you're gonna win when you have me and Amber on the same team. We've been training together for 6 months now. All right, guys, let's go get cleaned up. Good game. You destroyed your dress. Hey. I think we dominated out there.
We did. We took out.
I think you and Bryce need to come right back here.
Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna win.
You are. I totally That's rule.
I can't let him win.
Oh, well, speaking of Bryce, I do know you've seen him. Watch this.
Heidi had a video to show me, and it was actually surveillance of Bryce and I seeing each other.
It's in a different color.
And it was hard to see because obviously I was in the wrong for seeing him and for not saying anything about it.
So explain.
It's really hard not seeing one another.
Yeah.
And we got into a disagreement and I said some stuff that was really hurtful. And I needed to go and I needed to talk to him. You know, so I went and I saw him. And
so this was you choosing
It was
to
me
see
choosing.
Bryce.
It was me choosing to see him.
You know, Amber has a history of sneak eating and covering up when she's doing something wrong. I mean, it makes me wonder what's been going on at home. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris and I spend a lot of time away from each other, and there's only so much you can do long distance. But also, from our perspective, you guys made a commitment to us.
Yeah.
That the two of you wouldn't see each other
Yeah.
over this next 3 months.
Yeah.
And if you aren't keeping that commitment,
What other commitments
are we breaking? Yeah. I mean, the foundation of everything we do is commitments, making your promises and keeping them. And if they're already breaking commitments to each other and to us this early in the game, it makes me wonder what the rest of their marriage is going to be like. I get that you needed to see Bryce. I get you needed to patch some things up.
Yeah.
I do wish you would have let us know.
I just needed to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, and like whether he was on the other side of the country, like I would have gotten on a plane and flown and seen him. But the thing I should have done is let you know first.
Thank you. And thank you for being
I'm sorry.
honest. Thanks for opening up.
Yeah.
And thank you for apologizing.
Yeah.
I will forgive anything at all,
Yeah.
as long as you're honest. All right?
I appreciate that.
Coming up.
I know who the Biff is. I've watched him race his whole life.
And later. Something's been nagging at me for the last couple of days with Bryce. He doesn't look any different now from when I saw him 2 months ago at boot camp. Today I'm in Las Vegas for Bryce's bachelor party. This guy loves cars. So I figured, what better than to bring him out to the Richard Petty driving experience in the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 6 months ago, you couldn't even fit into a race car. You know? And here we are today. Take a look inside that thing.
I know, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty snug.
Hey, there's a seat in there for you. Are you going to ride with me?
Well, I don't know about that, because today, you're not driving. You're pushing.
Figures.
1.5 miles all the way around. You got to do it in less than 45 minutes.
Okay.
And if you do, I've got an epic day planned for you.
Let's do this.
Let's get this party started.
All right,
man.
here we go. Here we go.
All right, buddy. Here you go, buddy. And remember, pace yourself. This car's 3,000 pounds. You don't want to gas out on this one.
Chris was giving me some sweet motivational speeches while I was pushing the car.
Whew, it's getting harder. You got your foot on the brake?
It's just like marriage. Sometimes it's going to get harder, sometimes it's going to get easier. You know it, buddy.
He always makes me laugh when I'm doing a challenge like that.
You're doing great, buddy. I'm so proud of you, man. I wish Amber was here to watch.
I wish she was here to help push.
44 minutes, Bryce. You're at 44 minutes. Go.
Here we go.
Everything you got. Yes!
Oh.
It was just a major sense of accomplishment for me to do something that I never thought I would be able to do before.
You did it!
I did it.
I've battled 35 years of my life being overweight. To be able to overcome that kind of just carries on for every area of my life.
It takes 22 minutes to walk this 1.5 mile track. You just pushed a 3,000 pound car around the track in 44 minutes.
Whew.
I'm not going to make this guy push this car all the way around the track without having a little bit of fun.
Good driving.
Thank you. I appreciate
Excellent
that.
job.
For completing that challenge, Bryce deserves something special. NASCAR Champions Week is this awesome event where they actually shut down the Las Vegas Strip so that 16 of their top drivers can show off their skills in front of thousands of fans. But Bryce and I aren't here to watch. We're going for a ride. Here's the deal. They close down the Strip 2 times a year, and this is one of them. You're going to be in one race car.
Nice.
I'm going to be in the other, and we're going to take him down the Strip.
Awesome.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right,
Let's do it.
Let's go. Come on. When I first met Bryce 6 months ago, he was working on a car, and he told me that someday he was actually going to fit into it. Good luck, brother.
I know.
May the best man win. Here we are 6 months later, and he can fit into any car he wants.
Hey, Bryce.
Yeah.
You excited to have Greg Biffle driving you down the Las Vegas Strip?
Dude, I'm freaking pumped up, man. It's gonna be so cool. I know who the Biff is. I've watched him race his whole life.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you? I'm excited, man. I'm jacked up. You see all these things on TV, and so it was really neat to climb in the car and just, look out your window, and there's, Dale Earnhardt Jr. driving by doing a burnout, and Kurt Busch driving by doing a burnout. It was an amazing experience.
Hey, Bryce. Yeah. Don't crack the thing.
I won't. I didn't eat anything, so I'm good to go.
I've never felt power like this before. The rumble of the engine is unlike anything you've ever felt or heard. It was so amazing for me and Bryce to be like side by side in these cars. It was epic. I'll never forget this, and I certainly don't think Bryce ever will either. Look, we had a blast here in Vegas, but it's time for me to get back to Arizona. But before I go, I asked Bryce to meet me at the Palms Casino Resort for one last chat.
Checking out the view?
I am.
It's pretty sweet up here.
It is really impressive, man.
How's it going?
Good. The question is, how are you doing? Something's been nagging at me about Bryce. It's the fact that he doesn't look any different now from when I saw him 2 months ago at boot camp. Your wedding's gonna happen in just a few weeks now.
I know, it's crazy.
You're aiming for 210. That's the weight that you want to walk down the aisle.
I do.
You've made some huge commitments.
Yep.
I wouldn't be a super friend if I wasn't here to hold you accountable.
Right.
So I want to weigh you in today. Yeah, he's only got 10 pounds to lose, but 10 pounds on Bryce's body is a huge difference. 2 months ago at the end of boot camp, you weighed in at 220 pounds.
Right.
We're 2 months in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where you're at. 218 pounds. 2 pounds in 2 months. That's trouble. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. 2 pounds in 2 months. That's not okay. Clearly, he's not following the program. He had agreed to follow it. Simple as that. Look, man, you got 8 pounds to go in 1 month.
Yeah.
That means you got to lose 2 pounds a week for the next 4 weeks just to get to your goal.
That's hard to do.
I'm going to keep an eye on him and just make sure that he's doing what he says he's doing when he says he's doing it. Time to dial things in. You need to come back to Arizona with me and Heidi.
It's tough. To actually put 100% into all of your workouts and not just kind of go through the motions. It's been a little rocky road at home with everything that's going on. But, I set those goals just like at boot camp, and I have to do it. We're coming into last month here, and it'll be good to just kind of get away, get my butt in gear, and focus on hitting the goal of being under 210 pounds and pushing to the finish line as hard as I can.
Yeah. We'll get you there, man. We're going to get you there. Coming up, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Bryce and Amber's wedding.
I'm in love with that.
And their final weigh-in.
When I woke up this morning, it was kind of a surreal feeling to think that this was coming to an end. We've spent so much time focused on our wedding and losing weight to actually be at the point where it's almost over is kind of exciting and nerve-wracking all at the same time.
I get really emotional when I talk about it. I never thought that this day was going to happen.
Meet me at the gates near the Blackwood tree. I can be the man you want, my dearest Marie. Turn this life around.
I'm in love with it. I love it. I think it's great.
Turn this life around.
I just can't wait to see him standing at the end of the aisle and knowing that we're about to start the rest of our lives off on a really good foot. I just feel incredibly fortunate to have met him.
You know, 6 months of this journey, and here we are in front of all of Bryce and Amber's family and friends. I'm excited for this wedding, but as their coach, I'm excited for everybody to see the hard work that they've put in, the dedication and determination. It's so hard to believe we're finally here.
Bryce looked very handsome, very thin. He worked so hard, and it really true is a new beginning, and now starting a new family with Amber. It's just wonderful.
Seeing Amber was amazing. I thought she was beautiful before we even started this weight loss journey. And to see her come down that aisle and feel like I was marrying a supermodel. You look unbelievable.
Amber, for a while, said she never thought she'd ever get married, and it was just a dream come true. I'm very proud of him, and I just could not believe what a radiant bride she was.
Bryce, from our very first date, I knew that you were someone very special. Little did I know that you were going to turn into be my best friend and my teammate. I take you this day to be my husband. I love you, and this is my pledge to you and to God.
I love you too. This last year of our life has been absolutely amazing. I will never stop fighting for the success of our relationship and never give up on the love that we have for each other. And I just can't wait to be old and gray next to you on the porch.
Matching rocking chairs.
And matching rocking chairs.
It was like no one else in the world was there at all. It was perfect.
Bryce, take this ring and place it upon Amber's finger. And Amber, take this ring and place it upon Bryce's finger. By the authority granted me by Almighty God, I pronounce that you are husband and wife. You may kiss your wife.
When I first met Amber, I said I would never ever get married again just because my heart was broken so bad and I didn't want to go through that pain again. And it's so funny to me that being here at this point with Amber, there's not another person on this earth that I was meant to be with.
So, it's official. The knot is tied. Bryce and Amber are finally married. But the journey's not over yet. They set out to hit some huge goals, and tonight, we're going to find out if they reach them. Are you guys having a good time here at Rancho Las Lomas? Yeah! All right! What do you say let's bring out the newlyweds? Yeah! All right! Bryce and Amber, come on down!
Yes.
How does it feel?
Feels pretty good.
You guys have certainly put in a lot of work. You guys ready to see where all that hard work got you?
Yes.
What about you guys? You ready to see?
Yes.
All right.
Well, Amber, when we met you 6 months ago, you weighed in at 249 pounds. We gave you the goal to weigh 155 pounds by your wedding day. So over the last 90 days, you need to have lost 28 pounds to hit your goal. Now, we have calibrated the scale to take into consideration the weight of her wedding dress. So when she steps on this scale, it will be her actual body weight. All right, Amber, whenever you are ready, go ahead and take your last step onto the scale.
I've put in a lot of hard work, and so has Bryce. I knew that I did everything that I could do. I don't want to be a fat bride. My dad remarried when I was 5, and that's really where a lot of the sneaking the food came in.
A chocolate ice cream bar.
Something switched inside of me.
To actually hit that number perfectly, it's huge. Especially in the journey of transformation about keeping your commitments, it doesn't get any better than this.
I feel strong, and I feel very accomplished, and I, for the first time in my life, have kept promises to myself. So I feel really good.
Which leads us to you, my man. Buddy, you're up.
Has it been calibrated for my wedding dress too?
Yes, it has been, as a matter of fact. So let's talk about 6 months ago.
Yep.
You stepped on the scale at 306 pounds when I first met you. 90 days in, you were 220 pounds. And I told you, by tonight, by your wedding day, I wanted you to be at 210 pounds or less.
Yes.
A month ago, you'd only lost a couple pounds. But you spent some time with us in Arizona.
Right.
So are you ready to see how far it got you?
Man, I'm ready.
You guys ready? All right, Bryce. Go ahead and step up onto the scale.
I want to make sure that everything can be the best it can before you walk down the aisle.
2 pounds in 2 months. So let's talk about 6 months ago.
Yep.
You stepped on the scale at 306 pounds when I first met you. I told you by tonight, by your wedding day, I wanted you to be at 210 pounds or less.
Yes.
You guys ready? Go ahead and step up onto the scale.
See 205 pounds was like absolutely amazing to me. It was like unbelievable. I can't believe that, you know, in 6 months I could lose 101 pounds. We've had a pretty extreme 6 months, but I'm so excited for the future for us. I mean, I feel like we could do anything we ever wanted to and be successful at it.
There's so much more that we are going to set out to accomplish, and I'm just so excited to be his wife. I'm married, oh my God.
So what's next for you guys?
We want to have a gym to be able to offer a place where we can come care and love on people and see them be successful and lose weight.
That is amazing. That is so awesome. So, now, in the spirit of paying it forward, the Andrews Health and Wellness Center would love to give you your very first wedding gift.
Sweet.
It is a 1-week scholarship to Destination Boot Camp.
Awesome place.
For anybody of your choosing.
You know, there's a person in our life that she's been a best friend to me for a really long time. And she told me when we started this that she was going to whip herself into shape. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for her. I want to give this to my best friend over here, Jen Garland.
We'd always talked about after I was done having kids, I was going to really get in gear and get in shape. And so I'm so excited that this is going to be the start to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce and Amber.
Okay, here you go.
You're a brat. The last 6 months have been incredibly challenging. The most worthwhile experience of my life. I think that it's really drawn us closer together.
Some days I feel like giving up, running on fumes and chasing dust. But whatever I don't use will just be lost. When I look down the road, another mile's not so much.
We've learned so much about each other, and I'll never forget all the fun stuff that we've done, all the struggles that we've overcome together.
I wanna run with my grandkids. I wanna still feel young when I grow over you. And someday if I'm not there to see it all through, well, at least they'll know I wanted to.
6 months ago, if we had gotten married, our marriage would be completely different. I'm really excited that, I don't know, I'm excited to do life with you.
Definitely.
Well, at least they'll know I wanted to. And that's why I run.
So you two? How was the wedding night? Oh, is that a good laugh or a bad laugh?
It's a good laugh. I'm glad we had so much cardio exercise. I was in game shape. I was ready to run a marathon.
Yeah.
I love you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
John Hamm on Kimmel, later tonight. On the next Extreme Weight Loss, meet Jen.
911, where's your emergency?
A 911 operator who handles emergencies on a daily basis. But now, she's facing a personal tragedy that could leave her a single parent.
They are giving my husband 2 to 5 years.
Wait! I can't control my husband dying, but I can enjoy every day I have with him.
It's an inspiring story of transformation that proves no matter what happens in life, you can fight back.